Oh, now the punches are landing.
Kick.
Nice right hook. That one hurt his eye. Nice right hand. Nice shot by Jones. Completely committed to it. Oh, big left hand.
Here's that Jon head kick. This is in the first round.
I challenge you to watch the Jon Jones versus Dominick Reyes fight with the sound off and tell me honestly who won. Strip away Joe Rogan's commentary, forget what you know about Jones's reputation, and judge solely on what happened inside that octagon for 25 minutes. This isn't about being a Jones hater or a Reyes fan. It's about acknowledging the uncomfortable truth that's been hiding in plain sight. The Reyes fight didn't just expose Jones's declining skills, it revealed the UFC's unwillingness to let their golden goose lose, even when he's clearly been defeated. Jon Jones stepped into the octagon against Dominick Reyes with an undefeated record and the mystique of an unbeatable champion. Yet cracks in this image had been forming long before the Reyes fight. His performances against Thiago Santos and Alexander Gustafsson revealed a fighter struggling to maintain the dominance that once defined him. Against Santos in 2019, a split decision victory raised eyebrows, with two judges scoring at 48-47 for Jones, while one saw it 48-47 for Santos. In his 2018 rematch with Gustafsson, Jones secured a third-round knockout but looked vulnerable in exchanges where the Swedish challenger found success. The numbers told a troubling story. Jones's striking accuracy dropped from 58% during his first title reign to 49% in later defenses. His takedown success rate fell even more sharply, from a 56% career average before 2018 to just 33% in his final 3 light heavyweight bouts. These weren't isolated dips, but consistent trends, signaling a champion whose ability to impose his game plan was fading. Meanwhile, the UFC's marketing machine continued to portray him. MMA analysts noted a pattern in Jones's close fights. When battles went the distance, judges consistently favored the champion. 10 scoring controversies surrounded his career, 5 in his last 8 title defenses. The Santos fight stood out, with nearly identical strike counts, 97-96 for Santos. Yet Jones was awarded 3 rounds by 2 judges. Experts pointed to champion's bias, where close rounds often go to the title holder. Dominick Reyes exploited weaknesses others couldn't. His movement and stance switching created angles Jones struggled to process, while his boxing combinations disrupted the champion's rhythm. Reyes maintained forward pressure without falling into clinch positions, exposing Jones's declining wrestling. The fight revealed the cumulative effect of years of favorable decisions propping up a crumbling legacy. Reyes didn't just outperform Jones, he dismantled the mythology surrounding him. Each clean strike and stuffed takedown exposed a fading champion clinging to his belt through scorecards rather than undeniable performances. Breaking down the Jones-Reyes fight round by round reveals the stark contrast between what unfolded in the cage and what appeared on the scorecards. Reyes landed 116 significant strikes to Jones's 104, with a superior accuracy of 55% compared to Jones's 47%. Yet, 2 judges awarded Jones 3 rounds, sparking widespread controversy. Round 1 set the tone, with Reyes landing 28 significant strikes to Jones's 17. He controlled the center, dictated the pace, and consistently beat Jones to the punch. Jones attempted 2 takedowns, both easily stuffed by Reyes. The challenger's straight left hand repeatedly snapped Jones's head back, drawing attention from commentators who noted Reyes' early dominance. Building on the first round's momentum, Reyes outstruck Jones 30-18 in round 2. His combinations forced Jones to retreat along the fence, and his body shots, particularly left hooks to the ribs, visibly slowed the champion. Judges unanimously awarded Reyes the first 2 rounds, reflecting his clear control. Round 3 marked the first controversial scoring decision. Reyes landed 22 significant strikes to Jones's 19, including a 30-second flurry where a left hand visibly wobbled Jones, forcing him to backpedal. Despite this decisive moment, 2 judges gave the round to Jones, raising questions about their criteria. In round 4, Reyes delivered his most statistically dominant performance, landing 32 significant strikes to Jones's 15. He continued to press forward, cutting off the cage and landing cleaner, harder shots. Jones's lone takedown attempt was easily defended, yet the judges' scoring failed to reflect Reyes's control. The final round scoring was the most baffling. Reyes outstruck Jones 17-16 and maintained octagon control for nearly 4 minutes. Jones landed a late takedown but achieved no significant offense. Still, 2 judges awarded the round to Jones, sealing a split decision loss for Reyes. Media outlets overwhelmingly scored the fight for Reyes, with fight metric data showing he controlled the cage for over 14 minutes. The decision highlighted systemic flaws in MMA judging, where subjective biases overshadowed clear statistical and visual evidence. The Houston crowd erupted in boos the moment Bruce Buffer read the judges' scorecards, a deafening wave of outrage that filled the arena. Fans weren't just disappointed, they were furious, convinced they had witnessed a clear victory stolen. Even UFC President Dana White's reaction hinted at the controversy. When pressed by media immediately after the fight, he hesitated, offering only a lukewarm defense of the decision.
At some point when you're looking at rankings, they do have to represent what's happening in the organization at that moment, right at that time. And in the past 3 years, he's had 1 fight.
And you thought he lost to Reyes.
Huh?
And when he fought Reyes, you said you thought Reyes won the fight.
He didn't win the fight. Going into the last round, I had Dominick Reyes 3-1. I'm not the fucking judges. The guy didn't win he didn't lose the fight. And the one loss that he has is from a referee that should have never been a referee in a million years. He's never lost. We were just talking tonight, these kids that come in here that are undefeated, you know how hard it is to stay undefeated?
Shoulders hunched, avoiding eye contact, he muttered about the fight being close. For a promoter known for staunchly backing UFC decisions, his demeanor spoke volumes. The broadcast team struggled to justify the outcome. Joe Rogan's audible gasp when the scores were announced set the tone, while Daniel Cormier, Jones's longtime rival, openly admitted he scored the fight for Reyes. Replays of Reyes' most effective strikes played on screen, as if the production team itself was grappling with the verdict. Fighter reactions poured in almost immediately, amplifying the uproar. Jorge Masvidal tweeted, "Reyes got robbed," while Justin Gaethje called it highway robbery. Even typically reserved fighters like Stephen Thompson and Michael Bisping expressed shock. This wasn't just fan outrage, it was near universal condemnation from experts who understood the sport's nuances. The betting markets underscored the controversy. Despite entering as a plus 300 underdog, Reyes drew 85% of betting money leading up to the fight. Sportsbooks reported unprecedented wagers on Reyes, and when the decision was announced, several froze Jones's future betting lines. The smart money had seen what the judges missed. Reyes exposed stylistic problems Jones couldn't solve. Jones's post-fight behavior only fueled suspicions. When asked about a rematch, he deflected, talking instead about moving to heavyweight. He dismissed Reyes' performance as one good round, despite evidence to the contrary. Weeks later, Jones vacated the light heavyweight title, avoiding a rematch entirely. The message was clear. He had no interest in revisiting a fight he barely survived. The fallout was immediate, but its impact lingered. The Reyes fight didn't just spark outrage. It marked the moment fans began questioning Jones's invincibility, a crack in the armor of the so-called GOAT that could never fully be repaired. The Reyes decision fundamentally changed how fight fans evaluate Jon Jones's career. His record includes 5 controversial decisions in his final 8 light heavyweight title defenses, a pattern that revealed systemic bias favoring champions in close fights. Judges consistently awarded Jones toss-up rounds against Santos, Gustafsson, and Reyes, preserving his undefeated aura even as his performances declined. This wasn't just a series of bad calls. It was a structural issue that shaped his legacy. Jones's move to heavyweight immediately after the Reyes fight raised eyebrows. Instead of granting Reyes a rematch, as is customary after disputed wins, Jones vacated the belt. This strategic exit allowed him to sidestep not only Reyes but also rising threats like Jan Blachowicz, who had the tools to exploit Jones's vulnerabilities. It was a calculated move, reminiscent of a house built on shaky foundations. His legacy appeared solid, but was increasingly propped up by questionable decisions. Experts point to champions' bias in MMA judging as a key factor in Jones's career trajectory. Judges often favor title holders in close rounds, unconsciously influenced by their reputations. In Jones's case, his early dominance amplified this effect, creating an expectation of victory that skewed scoring. The stats back this up. In his 5 most controversial decisions, Jones lost the significant strike count every time, yet still emerged victorious. As one analyst put it, judges saw what they expected, not what actually happened. Reyes' career after the fight underscores the psychological toll of such outcomes. Facing elite opponents, he struggled to regain his form, his confidence shaken by being denied a title he arguably earned. Meanwhile, the UFC's promotional machine continued to shield Jones's image, often at the expense of challengers like Reyes. The Reyes fight exposed how flawed judging undermines MMA's integrity. When reputation outweighs performance, it distorts legacies and discourages fair competition. Jones's later career, marked by disputed decisions, reflects this imbalance. Until MMA addresses its judging crisis, the sport risks building more legacies on unstable ground, leaving fans to question whether outcomes reflect skill or systemic bias. The Jones-Reyes decision exposed flawed judging and shattered the illusion of invincibility surrounding UFC's Golden Boy. Rewatch that fight without commentary, and it's clear, Reyes outstruck, outworked, and outclassed Jones. This wasn't a close call, it was a systemic failure favoring reputation over performance. MMA's judging crisis isn't new. The Kevin Randleman versus Bas Rutten controversy in 1999 forced rule changes. Yet decades later, fighters still lose to scorecards. When reputation outweighs reality, true champions get robbed. Who do you think was robbed worse than Reyes? Can the sport evolve without fixing its broken system? Let us know below.